For the last 2 seasons of I Wish You Knew, we've dedicated the final show to letting loose a little, setting the record straight, and letting you know what's on our millennial minds. So for season 4, it's that time again. This is what we wish you knew. What's up, everybody? I'm Torrin L. Cooper, and welcome to I Wish You Knew. First, let's meet the panel.
Hi, I'm Yasmin.
What's up? What's up? I'm Zep.
Hey, I'm Waynika.
How y'all doing? I'm Caleb.
Hey everyone, I'm Mahogany.
I've been busy grinding at school as a teacher and as a grad student, while all of you have been holding it down on set. So tell me, friends, I've been grinding, I've been out low. So tell me what's been going on set. Let me know.
Well, we have been talking about what it means to be LGBTQIA in a millennial culture.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about children.
So break those acronyms down for her.
Oh, I was going to say the same thing. Where's the IA?
Yeah, I was like, oh.
What is the IA? Go ahead.
LG,
Yes.
lesbian, gay, B, bisexual,
G,
LGBT.
We said that already.
Lesbian,
So T,
Word T.
transgender.
LGBTQ,
Help me out.
queer.
Queer or questioning.
I.
I is intersex.
Okay.
And A stands for ally.
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 I thought that was
That was
something else.
ace.
What
But hey,
was it supposed to be?
I don't know.
No, it's ally.
Yeah.
It's ally.
We talked about relationships, man. We talked about open relationships and how we're all pro open relationships.
Pro.
So everybody is down with that.
No,
Alternative?
no, he's not speaking for all of us.
All right, it may
No,
be.
he's not.
Child. And that Black Girl Magic.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so what is Black Girl Magic? 'Cause
Black Girl
everybody's saying
Magic
it.
is...
It's trending online. What does
It's
that mean?
trending. Okay. Black Girl Magic it's who we are. You know what I mean? It's Yasmin having her own, empire popping. She got
Okay.
scholarships popping
Yeah.
for the kids. Then me having an ambition to do something outside of what I do 9 to 5, and then also having a passion project and being a part of I Wish You Knew, and being young and being able to promote that and do that. Then we have Mahogany, who's balancing both lives just like me. You got that professional life, and then you have those things that you're passionate about. So I think it's the ability to do anything successfully and celebrate those things, because there's a lot of strongholds and things that are against us that we don't always get to, pat ourselves on the back for.
Cool.
So
Mahogany, what are some of your favorite topics this season?
I loved when we talked about travel. I think it was so important, and we had our guests from DCPS with their travel
She was
abroad
really good.
program, and it was so amazing that DC even has that, because we were all like feeling some type of way, because we didn't have that growing up. Just the opportunities they can go to different countries and they get to explore another culture, like just to know that the next generation is able to have those type of access and have those people there to support that was everything. And us having passports, that's crucial, because we also need to explore.
I'm
ready.
Everybody got theirs in?
I got
We got it? Okay.
It's on its way.
It's on its way. And another good one, we talked about peer pressure, and I really like that we got to point out the positive and the negatives of peer pressure, because I think we always think about the negative and we don't realize the positive when we have a good circle, or the people that we surround ourselves by can be able to motivate us and push us in the right direction so we can advance.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite too.
My favorite was about new age comedy with Paris Sachet.
That was she was funny.
She is truly hilarious.
What's new age comedy? Let me know.
New age comedy, it's basically just comedy that reflects millennials. We have Gerard Carmichael, Paris Sachet, just bringing light and making negative into positive, not positive being comedy, and basically just bring good energy and humor.
So looking back on the season, is there a show that you wish you were on, or a show that you feel like you could have said more or said too much?
I wish
What
I
y'all
was on
think?
the travel one.
Travel one?
Because I travel like every
You
other
do
week.
travel.
Like
You don't take me. So.
Making moves.
And I don't take you. All you have to do is ask, Pratt. That's
All
all
right,
you
got you next time. Next time we're gonna travel.
But yeah, I mean, because I found out like some little to do, like quick, easy ways to pack and, you know, what to have when you travel and, you know, how you can get discounts on tickets. And I have a student advantage card and things like that.
So I didn't know that's possible. So.
Oh, yeah. And even as a grad student, you can have student advantage.
Oh, solid. Discount, Groupon.
Okay. I think the show that I would have loved to be a part of is the dating topic, honey.
Oh, Lord.
Because
that was a relationship.
Now listen, that was a show.
that
was a show.
It was snatched. It was snatched.
So you with the open relationships?
You said I'm with the open relationships? I'm with
What?
I'm with it. You know what? You know what show I like? Here's the show I like. I wanted to be on the Black Girl Magic show.
Yeah,
okay.
high five on it.
Why?
Why? Because I think black girls are magic, and I wanted to help, from a male perspective, talk about, you know, how I think that they are as well.
Yeah, my mom is magic.
You feel me?
She had me.
I think all black women are magic.
That's a good snap.
We should have been on that.
Black Boy Joy. I think
There
that's
you go.
another topic we can have next season.
For sure.
know, it's
Because that's
something
something
like
to be celebrated.
For the culture was good too. We talked
the culture.
about doing it for the
Yeah,
culture.
Caleb,
That's the
for the
episode
culture.
I wish I was on. Was for
So
the
you-
culture.
So tell us, what's for the culture? Like, really quickly, what's for the culture? What's that mean?
Being for the culture is anything that I feel like, for me, anything that's advancing or it's a moment that needs to be had. Like, it ain't necessarily like, because everything don't have to be deep. Some things are just surface. So, like, for instance, when you have a certain rapper who comes from a struggle and they may not speak the way everybody wants them to speak, but they pop and they got a #1 record, they're beating everyone out.
Yeah.
You know, that shows that
Shout
if
out
you work
Cardi B.
hard, shout out Cardi.
Let's think a little bit more deeper than Cardi B.
You said, let's go deeper?
Deeper than Cardi B for the culture. I mean, I get
but
it.
see what I'm saying was that was a moment that just needed to be had.
Yeah.
It's not deep, you know.
Also,
She
when
doing a
Issa
rap.
Rae,
Chance to rap.
Chance
Issa
the
Rae.
Rapper?
Oh yes,
Issa Rae.
Issa Rae.
yes.
love her.
I think these people doing big things are like, you know, for the culture, but the support that they get from their communities is also for the culture. too.
Exactly, and that's a
And
representation.
I think what I do, and I don't want to, you know, blow myself up, you know, what I do every day as a teacher, I teach for the culture. You know, I teach my people, you know, to enrich my community, and I do all of these things for the culture. And so I really enjoy hearing everything that you talked about this season, and we're going to get back to it too, but we've got to take a break, but stay with us. We'll be right back with more of I Wish You Knew. Welcome back. So friends, what else is it that you wish people knew?
What I really wish people knew is that even like people speak crazy about millennials and how we are obsessed with social media and things like that. But I also want to speak to the idea that I don't think that when you're in, like, because Twitter had released something where they were talking about how they don't want to limit public and political figures on while they're using social media. And what they were saying was that I want people to be able to see who is in what place. Essentially, that's what they were saying. But I think it's something to be said when, you know, leaders and people who are in high places are making international language and like messages and putting everybody at risk of such trauma based off of 140 characters. Especially when we had an administration before who was so eloquent and they made sure not to do those things so publicly and just so quick. And to me, that bothered me because I'm just like, this is like, when you're on these public things, I don't think that should be spoken about on social
Wait, I'm confused.
media.
So you don't, can you say that like simpler? You went way over my head.
No, so like,
You don't want Trump to be on Twitter?
Yeah, is that what you said? So you
Not
don't want
even-
Trump on Twitter? Is
But
that
other
not even
political
just
figures
him,
and stuff
but like
like that.
so for instance, we talking about like people with nukes and you going back and forth with
Trump,
someone
petty.
across, like I
You talking about the
think
president?
I guess,
45?
you know, not just him,
45?
but anybody shouldn't be doing that. Like, you should voice your opinion, but I don't think you should speak to something that's really,
Something that's severe.
it affects so many people.
Yeah.
You're talking about like illnesses for years and years and years and years to come if something like that was to happen. So that bothers me because I think we get a bad rap for social media, but honey, it's people who are not even in our generation that are, to me, abusing.
But I get what you're saying because I'm on
You
Twitter and I'm seeing all of these, you know, politicians like going back and forth at each other, you know, being petty, you know, and it's millennials, we just watching it, we just reading it,
we laughing,
and then we get the bad rep because we're on it. But I think they're trying to use it as their advantage, you know.
Because they think we want to see that, but we don't want to see that from you.
Listen, I don't want to see my senators, well, not my senators, but I don't want to see like the world leaders arguing on Twitter. Like that's petty. Like that's what kids in my class do. They argue, like, and it's like children. But I wish people knew, like, you don't have to, you know, go on Twitter and blast all your business, you know, especially if it's like international stuff, you know, secrets that can be revealed possibly, you know, but I just wish people knew, like, you got to be safe about what you say online, because you can't take those things back. A simple screenshot, and that's, you know.
Because people take fake news and they run with it. Anything, people, remember that happened here in DC with in the pizza shop, where somebody came to the pizza shop and shot at the people, all over something that was not real because of something that has been put out into the universe.
Somebody had a drive-by on a pizza shop?
Yeah, you know,
sort of like basically because of they heard it was
they
fake
said Hillary
news.
Clinton had some children or somebody like hostage.
And it was fake news.
It was fake news. Yeah. So outside of fake news, what else? What else you guys wish people knew?
I wish people knew, as far as not just for millennial, but especially in the Black community, mental health is a serious thing.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Share more about that. Share more about that.
I just think that as far as just opening up, having someone to talk to, speaking about depression if you're going through something, just making it more open, because it's so hush-hush, like, don't talk about it. But if it's more open, that can help so many more people.
And, you know, building up off of that, Caleb, I think that's great, you know, talking about or raising awareness about mental health is really important. And I think for a very long time, going to a counselor or going to a psychologist or a therapist was very taboo. Like, I don't need no quack, you know, like, well, ain't nothing wrong with you, boy, you just need Jesus.
Especially in the Black church, they say all you need is Jesus, but sometimes, you know, you need to talk to somebody.
Right, and you know what, my former, my alma mater, Elon University, within the last year, 2 students have committed suicide.
Wow.
And there was someone in my church, and their child is like no older than 10 years old. And it was reported that they were having they were standing like at the ledge of like a construction site, and they were about to jump off, and thank goodness their friend caught them and pulled them back. So it's actually something that's really happening, and these young folks are struggling with suicidal thoughts.
They need to know, like, you can get help, and there's no shame in asking for help.
Yeah.
That's anything.
We put a lot of emphasis and a lot of thought into physical health, looking a certain way, you know, perceiving yourself to be a certain way, but mental health is one of them things where it's like silent and only you are present for that. Yeah. So I think we don't, and a lot of the times, to be quite frank, back in the day, people didn't have the best insurance. They couldn't afford to go to a therapist. So that was their way of dealing with it, by telling you, oh, honey, that ain't no problem, because they couldn't afford for you to go to no doctor in the first place. So it's very important to exercise those things that we do have, which is a lot of people do have health care, and you'd be surprised that visiting someone like that wouldn't cost you so much. And it shouldn't be taboo, because it's health. Anything that's going to make you better, anything that's going to make you over, it's a beautiful thing. And
there's a lot of like free and like available resources out there for people.
For sure.
You know, so it works both ways, like making those resources and stuff available and making it known, and also destigmatizing mental health issues.
Yes.
But before we wrap up in the segment, Mahogany, you want to chime in? Anything you wish people knew about?
Yeah, just to include with that, like, I'm really big on self-care, because I feel like that always ties in. I think that we're doing so much, and we're getting our hands dibbled and dabbled in everything, and we don't sit back and take that time for us. Like, we sometimes make ourselves number 2 and not make ourselves number 1. And whether that goes to fitness, whether it goes to being open, journaling, traveling, exercising, eating right, I think we think we're young and we feel like, okay, we are good, we have the stamina and stuff, but like, our health is very important. And knowing those tips and those tricks, just simply meditating or going out and having a run in the morning, those little things can make a difference in your day, because we stress a lot, because we're trying to do so much and juggle, and sometimes we just need to pull back and breathe, and I think that's very important.
Definitely, as millennials always on the grind, we need to take a minute
grind hard
to care for ourselves. You know, me, every day after work, when I can, I go home and I lay in the dark, you know, and I just chill for a minute, and then my mom
asks me to do something.
But anyway, we'll get back to our conversation. This is great, but we got to take another break. More to come. Stay with us. More of I Wish You Knew. We'll be right back. Yeah. So, but that's huh? No, because I'm around. Welcome back. So friends, let's keep going. What is it that you wish people knew about, you know?
I wish that we did not run with fads. I wish that people were original. And they
like hopping on like trends and stuff like that?
Yes, like just hopping on something because it's popular at the moment.
Like
we did that, which
yeah.
to me, ultimately, it's a good thing because being vegan is healthy.
Listen,
but I think everybody ran left with being vegan, and then by Thanksgiving, they were like, well, it's only on the weekdays, so on the weekends I can eat it.
What the health show? Everybody watched that and got psyched out.
But that's true. But like in there is some like
it's some truth.
Some consciousness or enlightenment. 'Cause
Yeah.
I watched that documentary. I ain't gonna lie, I was one of the people.
Which one?
I'm vegan. With the health, you know, and I was.
On
But then
Netflix,
I did another like study on, not the study, but like some research on the other side of the argument. So I was able to make an informed decision. So yeah, I can still have my
So you
shrimp, I
woke
can still
now.
have everything, you know, but I can still make smart choices.
Exactly.
You know, so
That's
it's all
what
about
I'm
that.
saying.
You know.
Why y'all think people jump off though? You think it's that they have a hard time being consistent? Like, what is the purpose of why people jump from thing to thing instead of?
Or they realize it's not what they thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the rebellion. I think the rebellion is popular amongst
Because
us.
ribs are good.
To rebel and to do the opposite of what everyone is doing.
Everyone
That's
was
popular
doing.
amongst us. So I think that's like a major key in our generation. Anything that's not popular, it will then become popular because it's cool to do the thing that's not the norm.
Until something else comes up and then
And then we do that.
But life is like that, you know. I don't think there's not like a time period where people all did one thing and then something else came up and then they moved to that thing. But it just moved from like wave to wave.
I guess.
So speaking of
That's real.
waves in
That's real.
life, so what's next? I'm curious. Like, I want to know what's next for you all. What's coming up in your lives, and you know, you're about to graduate. I'm about to graduate.
Listen,
Hey.
So-
Lord is
Ladies.
gonna set me free from school, you know. But I'm just gonna go right back.
Right.
to get another degree. Listen, I'm on the grind until like
What's
I'm
next?
30, you know.
next?
But I'm just gonna grind until I can, you know, ball out.
Okay.
You know?
So what does that look like for you, balling out? What does that look like?
Living in Paris. No,
Hey,
but a place where
I
I
would
can
still
feel
live there.
comfortable, like, and I'm in a place where I can be able to say, all right, well, I have everything that I need, and I can buy what I want if I wanted to, you know, whatever financially, have that, you know, spiritually, health-wise, you know, just be in a place that I'm like holistically healthy, you know. So,
Okay.
how about you?
Who?
You.
You.
You asked the question. Going down the line.
Calm down, people. Calm down.
Oh wait.
No.
Let me ask you about the shirt you got on. It says Black
Oh,
by
yes.
Popular Demand.
Yes,
Is this
Black-
for the culture?
This is for the culture.
Black.
Hey.
Black by popular demand is for the culture, yes, and I do support. Like, I'm big on supporting Black-owned businesses, small-owned businesses, small businesses. So for me, I envision a long-term career. I envision a career in radio and television, sort of like Wendy Williams, how Wendy Williams transitioned from radio to television, or, you know, like The Breakfast Club. I'm publishing a book in 2018. I have so many crazy and also amazing experiences. And I think a lot of people get stuck in certain places of their life.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to share that and do more traveling too.
Yeah.
More traveling, scholarships. Hopefully I can pass that along to another executive director.
Okay.
And modeling. You know, maybe I'll move to New York.
Okay.
And
make it
yeah.
big. Don't forget about all the small people, all right?
Oh my
You know,
gosh!
people
Only a bus
I would
ride away.
never.
But that's what people do.
never.
Like, they get a bag and, you know,
Get
like,
on.
They get a bag.
That's not true. That-
Get the
What does that really mean though?
Get it back.
What?
and tumble.
Like, to forget about the small people. What does that mean?
Right.
Don't forget where you come from.
But you get
Right.
brand new. Because you got money.
Don't forget that you started somewhere.
So what does that look like to not forget?
To not forget is to be.
So say for example, like somebody calls you and you don't have the time anymore to be spending an hour talking on the phone like you used to. Does that mean that you forgot about them, or that you're trying to chase the coin even
No, I
more?
do
Like,
that now.
what does it mean to actually forget about the small people?
if you don't
Never reach back.
If you don't ever reach back,
Yeah.
if you don't ever like go back. You know?
Also, give a handout.
Not give a handout. I'm just saying like show your face, like show your appreciation. Like
You said what?
Didn't you get on at some point? You started at some point.
No,
so
I understand.
remembering that you started and then going back and being even if it's just a voice or the vision of you, someone sees where you started and they're like, okay,
Yeah,
let me do
but
that.
people usually be like, oh, somebody forgot about me because they didn't help me out or hook me up the way
Well,
that I
that's true,
wanted
too.
them to.
Oh, well, yeah,
that's usually the conversation.
that's
It's
true,
not
too.
like, yo, somebody's in the hood or they talking to the kids. It's like, oh yeah, I asked them for $5,000 and they got the money and
oh
gave
no
it
no
to
no
me.
you
You
can't
know,
just-
like,
you're not
know
gonna ask
something,
them
man.
for $5,000.
That's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
It's like because you didn't get what you wanted from the person, then they forgot where they came from, and that's not always the case. So I'm just trying to.
Oh, who did that to you?
Nah,
Right,
I
that's
feel that
it,
way.
that's
No, you probably do that to people.
I don't
You probably do
feel
that to
that
people.
way.
I was like, no, that's you do that too,
No,
brother.
I don't feel that way at all. I think that it is what it is. But you was on. What was you talking about? What was we at?
It's your turn.
No,
You talking about
you
new-
tell us
new wave.
where you going forward to.
Oh yeah,
new
more
wave.
money, more money, more money. Yeah, that's what I'm on.
How you gonna get the money?
What's the new wave?
What's that? I want to finish school. I'm in my junior year, so I got one more year left.
What are you studying?
Journalism and media studies. So I want to get into radio and television. So yeah, like we kind of have the same ways. That's why we click. We're on the same pattern. So we're going to support each other through this journey.
That's right. Black Girl Magic.
Yes, just trying to dibble, dabble, just like rebrand myself, and I just want to put my best foot forward and just make sure that how I'm representing myself as a whole is showing like where path I'm trying to go towards and continue to network and make these connections. Like I think we're all doing stuff amazing, and I think that these type of friendships we keep, and as we grow and as we evolve, we can go back and remember these times and like be still that lending hand and that support. So that's what I'm just in grinding mode.
That's nice. Like
That's the
Issa
word.
Rae, in one of her recent interviews, she said it's not always about networking up. We always think we
Yeah.
gotta go up the ladder, but
Right.
it's about networking across.
Right.
So who's to say where we're gonna be in the next 10, 15,
Exactly.
20, 25, 30 years? Hello? Hello?
So that's when you don't get the bag and you forget about people. That was
No,
the
nobody's forgetting about
perspective.
anybody. We all know where we came from. And
Call me out, you know what I'm saying? What y'all want
all
to
of
get
us,
gladiators.
but I think we have to hold each other accountable too. Like
Yeah. Definitely
that,
have to hold each other
you know,
accountable.
we ought to have people in our life that can tell us like it is, even
Right.
if we don't want to hear it.
I'm usually
All right, real
that
quick.
person.
Let's get to Caleb, and then we going. Your
So
new wave.
My
Oh, I
new
ain't say
wave,
mine
my new
either, though. Don't
wave
forget.
is just becoming more part of DC. I just moved up here from San Antonio, shout out to Texas, but I want to be more DC. Make a podcast, get back to making music, being myself, being more of an artist, and just making friends, going back to school, trying to get this degree finally. Made my mama proud. That's my wave.
Boom. Wave. You got it.
Okay, so boom, hey.
It's on you.
For me, I want to continue to be in media. I feel like my personality, that's just where it's meant to be. Everything else never works out the way that I wanted to, but media is always a good fit. It always works. And then I want to start a new business, and I'm going to start it.
Okay.
I'm going to push myself to start it within
Black
this
Girl
month.
Come on now.
So that means that in the next season, when you see me, I'm going to have to be talking about it, right? Because now I just put myself out there.
You just put it on the universe.
that
You
vibe.
So
claimed
a
it.
new
Positive
business,
energy.
So you own
continuing
it.
to act, and then I want to be able to be on TV at all times.
Bet.
Yes.
Friends, I
Black Girl Magic.
love hearing about everything that happened this season. I'm mad I missed out on a couple of episodes, well, all of the episodes. But I do know what y'all talking about because I was there in spirit, But I really enjoy everything that we always talk about on the show. Things that we wish people knew about, life skills, things that they can take with them. So thank you all. Thank you, friends at home. As always, we've had a great time on this show all season long. We're not sure Miss Brenda is, but we're looking forward to a season 5, y'all. So thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time on I Wish You Knew. Yes, season 5 in the works. It's coming up.